that if I gave a little bit of my time as a member of the public, I could impact the lives of a young person, and we know what's going on out there. Mentoring in everything I see and I read, I think is the way. When I speak here to captains of industry, often I ask them off air, have you got a mentor? And invariably they say, yeah. So if the people, as using Hackney terminology now, the topper people have mentors, how comes a youngster wouldn't benefit from one? I believe that we should be, I'd definitely give a couple of hours a month, wouldn't you? But you wouldn't pass the check, Paul. The check that means that anybody would leave you with their children. Sorry, I'm taking serious story and making jokes. Look, groups like this one rely on the support and funding from communities they serve. So to tell us about what's called the Big Give campaign, I'm joined now by Urban Synergy CEO and the person who lured me into it many years ago, Leila Thomas. Leila, how long was it that you said, would you like to go for a drink?
God, it's coming up a long time, actually.
It is a long time.
Yes, over 15 years.
Yeah,
nearly 20 years.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, so I actually do Urban Synergy full time now, but I've actually had a long-standing career working in technology. I used to work at the London Stock Exchange.
Right, so that's what you did, and this was something you thought of because of what?
Because working in the city, many years ago, I used to manage a team of all men, and very quickly everyone started to come to me and say, how can we get more females working in technology? But when we looked across the city, there's a lot of underrepresentation in lots of jobs. So what was happening to that talent pipeline? So okay, what can we do so that we can help young people see all the careers that they can see the city from their bedroom windows, but they don't know how to get there. What can we do to help those young people access those city jobs and those city careers, and well-paid careers as well?
So was it from a point of... So it's interesting because it wasn't that, I've spoken to doctors who say, I became a doctor when the person next door got stabbed and the air ambulance came. So yours wasn't through a personal tragedy. It was you saw a gap.
Yep.
And an opportunity to fill it.
That's correct.
But who did you target and why?
Well, at the time, we targeted young people that were literally, they can literally see the city from their bedroom windows, but they didn't know how to get there. So it's those communities of young people that didn't have mummy and daddy that worked in those careers.
Hold on a minute. My reputation is based on doing real radio. You've come in here and you're telling me only for radio foolish. That's not what you told me 15 years ago. What you told me... What is the matter with you? It's what happens. Everybody comes in and they think they have to act a certain way. You said to me, Eddie, I'm really worried about young children. Some of them black, but not exclusively. Mainly boys, but not exclusively.
True.
And what we're finding is that many of them come from single parent family. And what we are doing is targeting young people who are at the crossroads, who are in danger, who are referred to us by teachers, by their parents, by people. And we feel as though if we get involved, we can show these people the opportunities and what they become and what they can't see, they can't possibly be. That's what you told me. I don't even know who you... I don't even know who this person in my radio studio is.
That's true, but they're both true. They're both true. So there was underrepresentation in the city and there was overrepresentation in the community. So basically, youth crime was at a high, exclusions was at a high, young people weren't happy, mental health because they couldn't grow, they couldn't see their futures, they couldn't access to jobs or earn money that they wanted to earn. And it's both sides. There's underrepresentation in the city, but there's overrepresentation in all the wrong places. Right. But it shouldn't be like that.
No, I mean... Fine, I'm still here, aren't I? So obviously, and I get special permission to allow you on because this is not really the sort of thing that we do.
Yeah.
Because I know you, and we keep certainly they don't want Mrs. Nestor on here, and neither do I. If I'm honest with you. But let's have a chat to Zak. Zak has he worked with Urban Synergy as a young person. Morning to you, Zak.
Hi, morning, Eddie. How are you?
As a young person, does that mean that you're not a young person anymore, Zak?
Well, I'm 22 now, so I've graduated university, but my first contact with Urban Synergy was about 7 years ago when I was in secondary school myself.
Where are you talking to me from?
I'm actually speaking to you from Ottawa in Canada, currently in between my studies, so just travelling.
How does a line in Ottawa sound better than the person who's our reporter that I've just been talking to an Oxford Circus.
What can I say? Fair enough.
Tell me how you came, and you tell me, give me the information that you feel comfortable giving me, Zach, because I understand I've been working with these guys a little bit of a while now. How did you come to be involved with Urban Synergy?
Yeah, absolutely. So back when I was in year nine, so around 14, 15 years old, it came to the time where we were doing work experience programs with, the rest of our school. And it was part of our job to go and seek out work experience. I came across Leila as someone who's always out and about in the community. And at the time, they were offering a work experience program at Thomson Reuters in the legal department. And it's something that I pounced on back then. Leela helped secure that work experience with Urban Synergy. But not only did they help secure it, they also provided me and about five, six others training on corporate etiquette and just how to operate in a corporate work environment, particularly as people from disadvantaged backgrounds who might not have had access to that. So having been on that work experience program, I was, Leah helped open the doors to several mentors across the years in various industries. I remember one time I asked Urban Synergy saying, I'm actually quite interested in diplomacy, for example, and they hooked me up with a Norwegian diplomat to kind of mentor me through the process in terms of how they came to be where they are. Eventually, I was able to apply to Cambridge and talk all about the work experience opportunities provided by Urban Synergy, and it helped me secure 3 years at Cambridge, and now I'm studying to work in corporate law. So it's a full circle moment. Actually, 6 years ago, I was on this exact program talking to you, Eddie, about one of the successes of an event that we had held at my old secondary school, where we had about 100.
No, let me tell
Yeah,
you, it came up. Okay, let me just let everybody know. It came up as a memory the other day, and I use it often, Zach. So in this school, Leila, you can, I call you Leila. Everybody else calls you Leila. Leila,
yeah.
in this school, Leila said, "Will you come? Will you be there at 8:30? Where we have got, I don't know, 30 or 40 professionals to come and speak to these year 11 or 10s, right?" And so I remember giving the opening introduction in the way that I do, letting everybody know, and everybody, it was like speed dating, wasn't it, Zach? Where you got
Yeah,
5 minutes or
exactly.
whatever. But I remember it was amazing because what I remember and what I saw were children who went into that room, some of whom were wearing a suit for the very first time. And at the end of it, they were inspired to become young adults who felt and believed like something else was possible. Is that your memory of it, Zach?
Absolutely. And I think one of the beauties of the impact Urban Synergy has, when we're able to put on events like this, Urban Synergy has a real ability to capture kids who are often falling through the gaps in the school system. We know now, schools and teachers are overwhelmed. So events like that really help kids, particularly those who are at risk of exclusion, really understand the wealth of careers they have on their doorstep, particularly as people who do grow up in London and have the city skyline on their doorstep. So just making that accessible, having people from our backgrounds just in front of us and talking about their experiences really is something to remember for these kids.
How did you do at Cambridge?
Well, yeah. So I originally it was quite a shock going from a school in Southeast
No,
London.
I don't. What result? Listen, I'm your father now. I'm your uncle now, right? Don't answer me like you give me. It's not a CV. I am your uncle,
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah.
Eddie's story. How did you do at Cambridge? What did you
Well,
get
in
at the end of it?
yeah, in the end, I did get a first. So
Yeah, don't be shy about that.
thank you. Yeah.
That's made my eyes mist over. Yes, and Zach, do what we talked about when we do that. When you have been able to be in a position to avail yourself of something fantastic, make sure you remember that you now owe it to the pipeline to make sure that you encourage the
Absolutely.
next. God bless you, mate. Oh, 6 years
Thank
on, Layla. Oh
That's the
no.
difference you've made, Eddie.
Not me. That's the difference that you've
All
made.
of
But
us
but but but
together.
but, but that's what I mean. It's great. Right. You tell me what it is that you're trying to do. Why are you on here today?
Okay, so we want all young people to have access to work experience opportunities because it gives them the opportunity to develop their skills, to showcase their talents and find future work pathways. We are running a big give campaign. It's live now. It closed at 12 o'clock today. If anybody can donate £1, it gets double impact. And
so this is one of those where the city they match.
They match every pound gets doubled.
Right. If I'm the parent now and I've heard Zak and I don't know, my language is different to my son's.
Yes.
And I want help just sitting in a room so we can talk, because there are various levels of contact, of help, of development, right? Sometimes it's taking them to a game of football.
That's right.
To Arsenal, so they know who not to support. And sometimes sometimes it's whatever.
Yeah.
If anybody's listening now
Yep.
and would like to find out more about what you do, where could they go?
Contact Urban Synergy, urbansynergy.com, or get your school to contact Urban Synergy so we can partner with your school. So it's urbansynergy.com, and donate. We need help.
Good to have you here. Next time you come on, don't muck about.
We've got a waiting list of young people.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, I'm speaking to you.
They need a lot of help. Let's help them. Children are our future. Education is the key. We must help them. We need more Eddies to come and help us, to help them.
No, you don't. There's one thing this world doesn't need. Lou Pepper will tell you this. No more Eddies.
One is more than enough for the world. I'm sure Mrs. Nestor would agree. Now, let's start with the trains. London Overground, no service on the Windrush line. Still, New Cross to Surrey Quays and Dalston Junction to Highbury and Islington, following that power failure at Canonbury. Southern and Thameslink currently at a standstill at Tulse Hill because of a road vehicle hitting a bridge. And still a reduced service for South Western at Teddington, Hampton Wick, Kingston and Norbiton. On the roads, the M25, an accident clockwise between Sevenoaks at 5 and the Clackett Lane services, still causing some delays along that stretch.